Hi everyone, it's Amanda Saladin from Love Life Yarn, and today we're going to be making some men's mittens. You can find more than 70 free knit and crochet patterns on my blog, love.life.yarn.com. There is a women's version of these mittens already on there. I will link to that in the description so you can check that out. And if you like this video, please subscribe. I'm shooting for a new video tutorial every week. So let's get started. The supplies that you'll need for this are 2 skeins of a chunky weight yarn. I use Mittens Classic Wool Roving, as you can see here. And then you need a J hook and a K hook, and also a yarn needle and a ruler or tape measure. Okay, for this pattern we're starting from the bottom and working our way up. And so for the ribbing, you're going to use your smaller hook and you're going to chain 11. Okay, now we're ready to crochet into the back loops, which is how I do it. The second loop from the hook, and we're going to single crochet in each of these back loops all the way down, and you're going to have 10 stitches for your ribbing. So just single crochet in each chain. Okay, I'm down to my last little chain here, and for some reason mine always gets tight, so I have to kind of help it out here with my fingernail to kind of squeeze my hook in. And there we go. Now we have our 10 chains, and you're going to turn. Get ready for row 2. Okay, so here we are, ready for row 2. We've turned our work, and we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to single crochet only in this back loop. You see the 2 loops here, you're going to go split those, not in this normal space where you would single crochet. Okay, go right in between the 2 loops and only catch the back one. And single crochet in the back loop only. And do this in each of your 10 single crochets. This is what's going to create that ribbed texture, and it's a very common ribbing. If you have worked ribbing before, you've probably done something similar. It's single crochet or half double crochet, and you work it perpendicular to the piece. I remember the first time that I ever crocheted something like this, I did not understand how it was going to be the ribbing, and once it clicked, I was like, oh, makes sense. So go ahead, back loop only, all the way down. Okay, here's my last stitch, and I'm going to turn my work, And I'm just going to repeat row 2 over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1 and then single crochet in this back loop only, just like I did, and alternating going back and forth in only the back loop is what's going to give you that texture. So work your way all the way down, working only in the back loop. Okay, we're getting near the end of this row, row 3. Sometimes it's hard to see this last stitch, so make sure that you have 10 stitches at the end. Okay, you can see right now the ribbing already taking shape. Okay, so you're going to turn, you're going to work the same thing. You see the ribbing's going to go this way right here. And you're going to keep working this until your piece measures 9 inches when slightly stretched. Okay, so here's my piece that I've worked until it was 9 inches. I just slightly stretched it out a little bit when you are measuring it. And now we are ready to exchange our hooks. So take away your J hook and get your K hook out. Here's mine. I like this clover hook. Put that in here. And we're going to work 27 stitches evenly around. So go ahead and chain 1. And we're going to work across. We were working this way before. Now we're going to work across these stitches, or the end of the rows. Sorry. So go ahead and single crochet 27 stitches. Now it may take you more than one try to get your stitches evenly spaced, and if that's the case, that is okay. I know with some projects I've had to take out my stitches before because I get to the end and I have too many rows, or vice versa. I get to the end and I'm like, whoa, I don't have enough rows. So you can count the number of rows that you have and then figure out how many stitches they're going to be and kind of space them out. So you know if you need to, you have 4 more rows than you have the number of stitches. When you get halfway like this, go ahead and check. Make sure it's about halfway. That way you don't get to the end and have that issue like I have many times. So now when I get halfway, I always check it. And then keep going across. I'm starting to like half double crochet ribbing better for that reason, because a lot of times it equates to 1 stitch in each row, whereas the single crochet usually you have more rows than you're going to have stitches, and you've got to skip some of them. Okay, so here we are, and I have 27 stitches around, evenly spaced as possible. And now we're not going to use the slip stitch to join. We're just going to start working in the round. So right here you see the first stitch that we made. So we're just going to go ahead and single crochet right into this first stitch. Okay, go ahead and do a couple of stitches and then grab a stitch marker and put it in the first stitch, because otherwise you're going to go around and not remember where you started. I used to not want to use stitch markers. I was pretty stubborn about that, and I was like, oh no, I'll just count. Yeah, well, that gets old really fast. So now I'm like, okay, I'll just put a stitch marker in. So go ahead and work single crochet all the way around. We're just going to work even here for a few rounds before we start shaping the thumb. I promise I don't actually crochet this slowly most of the time. It's just always hard for me to do it while looking at the camera instead of at what I'm doing. So we're still just single crocheting all the way around. Some of my stitches appear to be tighter than others, which also happens to me on a joining round with the ribbing. Okay, so we are back to our beginning stitch marker. Got one stitch left here. And now we're just going to keep working in the round. So you'll just work a couple stitches in each time and then put your stitch marker back. So work 2 more rows even in single crochet, and then we'll come back and shape the thumb. Okay, we've worked our 4 rounds of single crochet and we are ready to shape the thumb. So the next round we're going to start out by single crocheting 15 for the right mitten. If you're working the left mitten, it's going to be the opposite. We're going to have 9 and then you work the 15 after the thumb shaping. So we're working the right mitten, so go ahead and single crochet 15. The only part's different about the left and right mitten, really the only thing different is the thumb shaping. So I said, when you're doing, it's just how many single crochets you do before and after the thumb that are different. So single crochet across the required number of stitches for whichever one you're making. So like I said, we're doing the right mitten together. So we are single crocheting 15. Now here we are, we've done 15. We're going to work 2 single crochet in this next stitch. in the same stitch, and then we're going to single crochet 1, okay, right here next to, see we're increasing for the thumb, single crochet, and now we're working another 2 single crochets right here. So we're increasing by 2 stitches around the row. Okay, got 2 single crochets there. Now single crochet 9. Okay, for round 2, we're going to single crochet 15 again. So if you're working the left mitten, it'll be 9. Okay, there's 15. Now we're going to work 2 single crochet in the next stitch again, just like we did before. Increasing for our thumb. Now single crochet 3. And 2 single crochet in the next stitch here. Okay, and single crochet to the end. Okay, round 3, we're going to start out the same way for each of these thumb shaping rounds. We're going to go ahead and single crochet 15 for the right mitten, 9 for the left. Okay, and 15. Now we're going to work 2 single crochet right here in the next stitch. And now we're going to single crochet 5. And we're going to 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then single crochet to the end. Okay, we're ready to work round 4. So you can see a trend here. We're going to be single crocheting to the thumb shaping. So 15 for the right mitten and 9 for the left. Okay, here we are, 15. I'm going to work 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to single crochet 7. Okay, and 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And single crochet to the end. You can see the thumb shaping up nicely here. So let's go ahead and single crochet to the end of this round. Okay, now round 5. Again, we're working very similarly to the rest, so go ahead, mark your stitch, and work across either 15 or 9, depending upon which mitten you're making. Okay, after you do this, you're going to work 2 single crochet in the next stitch. And then single crochet 9 across the thumb. Okay, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and single crochet to the end of this round. Okay, now we're ready to join the hand and separate it from the thumb. So go ahead and we're going to single crochet across. So for the right mitten this is 16, and for the left it's 10. Okay, there we go. This is the last stitch. And now we're going to skip the next 11. So chain 1. This will bridge the gap here, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope. Get back in here. Join right here in the next stitch. So that'll be the 12th. Again, so you're going to skip 11 and then single crochet in the next. So you can see this is our thumb right here, and that chain 1 just kind of bridges the gap between these 2 stitches. And now you're going to single crochet to the end, and you should be back to your original stitch count of 27 stitches when you're done with this, not counting of course the thumb stitches, which we're going to leave alone for now. It's one of the best things about crochet over knitting a pair of mittens is that you can just leave those stitches there. You don't have to worry about putting them on a holder or anything like that. You just leave them. I like that about crochet. So go ahead and we'll crochet to the end of this round. There we go. You can see how our thumb is going to be over here to the side. Okay, for the next round we're just going to single crochet evenly around all of our stitches, including our chain 1 space. So go ahead and work your single crochets all the way around till you get to that chain 1 space. Okay, so when you get here, you're just going to single crochet into the chain 1 space and then continue single crocheting around the rest of the stitches. Okay, so now we've really separated our hand here, and you're going to keep working all the way around evenly single crochet through row 13, and we're ready for the top shaping. Okay, and now we're ready to shape the top of the mitten. You can see here that we have worked all of these rounds even through round 13, and now we're ready to shape the top to close it up. So we're going to start right here, and we're going to single crochet in the first 5 stitches, replace your marker, okay, now we're going to single crochet 2 together in these next 2 stitches right here. Now single crochet 1, single crochet 2 together in the next 2, single crochet in the next 9 stitches, Now single crochet 2 together in these next two. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in these last 3 stitches right here. Okay, and that sets us up for the first round of the top shaping. So now for the second round, go ahead and single crochet evenly all the way around for round 2. And now we're ready for round 3. So we're going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches. And now we'll single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next stitch, keep turning your mitten as you need to, single crochet 2 together, single crochet across the next 7 stitches, okay, and after you single crochet these 7 stitches, not quite sure what happened to my video at this point right here, so you're going to single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together again, and then single crochet 2 in the last 2 stitches. You should have 19 stitches around at this point. Alright, and for round 4, you're just going to single crochet evenly all the way around again. Okay, in round 5, I'm going to continue shaping. You're going to single crochet in the first 4 stitches. Single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in the next. And single crochet 2 together. Now single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, now we're ready to single crochet 2 together. Work 1 single crochet. Single crochet 2 together. And single crochet in the last 2. Okay, for round 6, we're just going to work another round even in single crochet. Okay, for our last round of the top, we're going to single crochet in the first 2. And now single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in the next stitch. Single crochet 2 together. Single crochet 3. Single crochet 2 together. single crochet, and single crochet 2 together in these last 2 stitches. And you should have 11 stitches at this point. So now we have gone all the way to the end, and we just need to sew a seam right here. So go ahead and you can take out your stitch marker, and you're going to fasten off, leave a long tail for sewing up the seam, which you can see the mitten shape here. Closing the top. Okay, for the top you need your fasten off your yarn, so grab your scissors. So leave a long enough tail for sewing. Fasten this off right here, pull it tight. And then you're going to need to grab your yarn needle, also called a tapestry needle, and thread that through. Okay, so we're going to close up this seam right here. And you just go into one stitch right here. I go underneath these stitches, and then I come across the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around that little single crochet post there. Pull it tight. Then I'm going to come back, get the next stitch, and then go across the other side. And we're just going to work back and forth this way, just across these few stitches. So 5 or 6 times, we have 11 stitches, so just keep going back and forth. And just match it up as close as possible. Okay, one more here. Okay, and there we go. Kind of even it out a little bit with your fingers. And that closes the top of the mitten. Now all that's left to do is to weave in this end, so poke it through. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn mine inside out first. Sometimes I go ahead and pull it through. So I'm going to turn it inside out. And then I'm going to get my needle to come through to the wrong side. There we go. And now I'm just going to weave in this end. So I'm going to come along and weave it in to the seam that we just made. Just kind of working back and forth. Okay, then I'll go back along it again. Whenever there's a seam, I like to hide my ends in the seam itself. Okay, when you feel it secure, you usually do it 3 times, at least 2, depending on how much yarn I have. You're going to cut it. And I still haven't sewn up that seam in the cuff yet. That's right, go ahead and turn it right side out again. And now we have to work the thumb. Okay, we've got the hand all the way completed. So there's our hand. Now we just need to work our thumb. Okay, so we're going to work around these stitches right here of the thumb that we skipped. We start in the chain 1 space from when we join the hand. So go ahead and join your yarn with a slip stitch. And chain 1. And single crochet in that same space. Then we're going to work the stitches around. Be careful not to work into these 2 rows right here that look like you might need to. Work into this very first stitch instead. So you're going to work all the stitches that we skipped. We skipped 11 stitches earlier. So just go ahead and work around all of these. You have to move your mitten quite a bit at this point because the thumb is kind of small. So we'll be turning it a lot as you go around. Okay, see how we worked around there? And then we're going to start working this very first stitch right here that we did. And work around in rows. So you're going to need your stitch marker again. And go ahead right here in that first stitch. And just add your stitch marker in here to make sure you know where your round begins. And for rounds 2 through 8, you're just going to single crochet evenly around to build up the height of the thumb. So one single crochet in each single crochet. Okay, and repeat this. As I said, you should have 8 rows total from where we joined. Okay, so for round 9, we're going to close the top of the thumb. So remove your stitch marker, and you're going to single crochet 2 together 6 times. And this will close the thumb, and you'll only have 6 stitches left. Okay, there's our 6th one. So we have closed up the thumb, and you only have 6 stitches left. So you're going to fasten off here, leaving a decent tail to sew. Okay, I've cut my yarn already, and I'm ready to fasten off. And we're going to draw the yarn through these last 6 stitches. So what I do is I just put my hook in, like so, and I come out. And then the next stitch, I'll put it through like this, where I can pull the yarn back in. And I just alternate back and forth through each stitch this way. That way I don't have to get my yarn needle and thread it yet. I just like to do it with my hook. Okay, and pull it tight. Okay, closes up that thumb. And now we're going to weave in the end. Okay, so I just like to pull my yarn through already, so I'm going to use my hook for this. And pull it to the inside, and then I'm going to flip it inside out. Sometimes it gets a little stuck. Alright, let's try it again. I'm going to grab it with my hook and pull it through. There we go. And now we can flip it inside out. Oh, might as well go ahead and get this one here. While I'm here at the end, pull it through so that we can go ahead and weave in both of those inside. So you'll just flip it inside out and weave in the ends. This is what your mitten will look like. Okay, so the last thing you have to do is tackle this seam in the ribbing. So go ahead and have your tapestry needle. And thread it through, and we're going to do this seam just like we did the seam at the top of the mitten. So now that it's done here, I'm going to go through the stitch because we can see stitches here. Go through this, one side at a time. Go through this side, and I did not leave a long enough tail. So I'm going to end up having to join some more yarn, have extra ends to weave in, unfortunately. So please make sure you leave a long tail so that you don't have this problem. Okay, so just back and forth. And now I'm going to go join some new yarn, but you can see how it is sewing up that seam. Just get one more stitch, and my yarn is getting too short to weave in. So we're going to close that up, same way, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now I had to join my yarn here, so I have extra ends, like I said, to weave in, but there's the seam. You can see that it's very nearly invisible, not really noticeable there, and there is your finished mitten. Okay, I know my ends don't look so nice, but I'm going to weave all these ends in, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe for more and check out the more than 70 free patterns at amandasaladin.com.